Like every single day, there's another trader telling you that they've cracked the code. Order blocks, the real smart money, ORB, and they might all work for somebody. But if you keep switching, they'll never work for you. And here's the reality: there's 1,000 different ways to trade, and most of them, like I said, they can work for someone. The problem is the market's a loud and messy place. Every Discord, every Twitter feed, every YouTube thumbnail is telling you that this is the thing you've been missing. One day it's order blocks, the next it's Elliott wave, then it's Wyckoff, and then some indicator that sounds like a double dragon cheat code. What was it? Up, down, left, right, BA, or whatever it was.
Up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start.
There you go. And if you're not careful, you start collecting strategies like people collect Pokemon cards. And the problem is you're not building skill in any of them. You're just dabbling. You're a hobbyist. You're distracted. You're a mile wide and an inch deep. The market doesn't pay you for knowing 42 patterns. It pays you for executing one pattern perfectly under pressure. That's why so many traders feel like they're working hard but not going anywhere. That's how I felt, and I know that's a common feeling because I hear it all the time. They're losing to the noise before they ever lose to the market. And the only fix is clarity. Know your lane, tune out the rest, and actually get good at something. So let's start here. Nick, what do you think is the most ridiculous trading concept or term that you've heard someone swear by? And why do you think that people latch onto this stuff so hard?
Most ridiculous?
Yeah, just some like crazy stuff you've heard and you're like, what?
I mean, you've heard the moon charts, right? The astrology, full moons, people swearing by them. I mean, there's enough data there to show you that they work like a broken clock, sometimes twice a month. But
yeah, and I actually saw someone on a similar vein only would place trades at 11:11 because it's a science, a lucky number from the universe.
That's a gambler habit.
Only
play these numbers.
Another one that I fell trapped to early on in my trading career was mystical timeframes. Like
I like mystical timeframes though.
Like the 7-minute time frame because that's what institutions use. Like, no, they don't.
I like the 24.
No, they don't. Institutions are not on the 7-minute time frame.
No, they're not. I think there's a little bit of something to that, but not. It just shows you a little bit of the in between. It's not really mystical. It's more data.
How about secret paid indicators, right? Like people
will
will spend thousands of dollars thinking a color changing arrow on TradingView will make them rich overnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is most are just reskin versions of free indicators like RSI, MACD, whatever.
How they are.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who reached out to me and said, "Hey man, I bought this indicator," and right away I knew what it was. And I asked him what he paid for. He's like $700, and I showed him MFI, and it was just MFI.
Exactly the same. Yeah. How about these trading groups or signal groups that have no loss systems? Have you seen those?
No loss.
Like they just don't lose, or they.
Yeah, everyone's in the win. I mean, it's they only show you the wins, right? I mean, right. I streamed my chart live today, and I've been messing with a little bit of different strategies. So I was in the red a little bit today, but actually I'm still in the red right now. But it's crazy, dude. Like even like I mean, we've seen it in crypto. We've been in the paid discords. They only show you the 100% moves if those are even real and they actually even took them. It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out those no loss systems just didn't count losing trades, and they just keep repainting past handle. Now, have you seen the new thing now? Which is if you go on Fiverr, you can buy trading AI bots for $50.
So you can lose over and over because of a bot.
That guarantee you success.
Yeah, you want to hear something funny while we're talking about that? Here's how untransparent the system is. We were looking at signing up for Blowfin a while back, probably last year at some point, right? And the rep told me, he says, "Hey," and I have the email if people want to see it. When you do copy trading, let me just make for a fact this was Blowfin.
I think it was.
Do they have copy trading? I'm not. Yeah, it was Blowfin. Sign up for copy trading. We will erase your losses. So you have a 100% win rate in the copy trade. And when I asked him the question is, what happens when I lose a trade and everybody else loses a trade? Do they get refunded? He's like, nope. We just make you look good so you earn fees.
Yeah, and that didn't start in crypto. That
No,
that
for sure.
that's there's maybe I don't know if this is a popular or unpopular opinion, but I think like all the forex shenanigans kind of ruined a lot of stuff.
Forex was like the
Um,
first gray market of all the leverage. And
yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's all the shady forex exchanges, all the shady forex prop firms.
Mhm.
Um, some
People
of the
think,
crazy strategies that seemingly there's more people selling courses on them than successfully trading it. I don't think crypto might have like ran with a lot of that, but I think like the birthplace of a lot of that is forex.
yeah, if you thought crypto was shady, you didn't play Forex at all.
Yeah. So then
500x fucking leverage everywhere.
yeah, yeah. So why do traders chase complexity when
Because they don't know
simplicity
how to
works?
simplify it. And they don't know, like, for me, it's things started getting easier when I simplified things and it didn't need the complexity.
When I'm gonna say something and you tell me true or false. Um, Novice traders add to their chart, like experienced professional traders remove from their chart. So, what would your advice be to a new trader trying to find a system and is running through different indicators and learning different things right now? Maybe they're a couple months in, maybe they're 6 months in, and still kind of spinning their tires right.
Advice for them? I mean, I would start with less. I mean, start with the naked trading aspect of it all. Learn the candle movement. Learn how to just simply mark out. And we even opened New York today with this question you posed was, where does everybody mark their levels? And a lot of people said the hour chart and the 15-minute chart, which, I mean, I use the 4 and the daily as well, but for New York, I'm mostly watching the hour chart. And the hour chart slammed today. It was the key to the short. Unfortunately, I missed it, but it was the short. And I think people need to zoom out and just simply consider trades at support resistance on higher time frames.
Yeah,
Let
if
'em
I
rock.
could go back and tell myself, because I think this is a common path for traders to take. And I can new trader listening, I can save you a bunch of time right now. If you just strip your chart clean, do no indicators for the next 30 or 60 days and learn price action. I will save you maybe a year, maybe a year. It would have saved me a year of time if I just did naked trading because my journey is very similar to what I hear from other traders. It starts by throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and hoping it sticks, right?
Yeah.
Indicator after indicator, strategy after strategy. And then we both took the same path. It morphed from that, from spinning our tires, shopping strategies, right? And we fell for it all. We fell for the paid indicators, right?
Yeah, if I
We
would have
we
skipped that whole step, like the market cipher, the Lux algo, and whatever else we messed with, that would have saved me a ton of time.
and then we went to naked trading, and that's kind of where we built from, right? Was from stripping our charts clean and working from there, from learning the price action first. Can you trade a naked chart?
Yeah,
Yeah.
super easy. I think it's
It,
like I use the analogy like the Matrix all the time, like price action. Until that starts like coming through clearly, and you understand why things bounce around and ping pong around off the levels they do, there's no point in getting an indicator because they're not going to help you.
no, it's not. And I think everyone should go through that phase. And if you're right now spitting your tires, shopping and trying to come up with some crazy strategy, you know, wipe it clean. You got nothing to lose and probably a lot to gain from just stripping your chart clean and learning price action. Because what happens? What happens when you add 20 different indicators to your chart? You can't
Gets
see the
confusing.
price action.
Yeah, super confusing. Analysis paralysis.
And that's the risk of just adding too many tools to your chart, right? Is first of all, you can't see price, right? We already talked about that. But dude, if you're watching, you know, a screen that looks like a rainbow and you have 20 different things, 20 different lines, 20 different order blocks, 20 different fair value gaps, 20 different indicators, they're all telling you different things. Like where's your clean levels? Like where are you actually looking to go long, to go short? to enter into a position.
Yeah, if you can't see your target, I mean, there's a lot of different things that, kind of go into that with everything else too. It's like, it's always fun. When I used to run and then we did the marathons and stuff like that, you could always tell the people who were new because they had 3 fanny packs on, 2 water bottles strapped to them, a headband, glasses, the little things to hold the glasses in, a little sweatband for under the eye, and then they were last place.
Yeah.
Over
Yeah.
preparation and for everything.
Yeah. So what do you think the biggest time wasters that traders fall for are?
Time wasters,
Yeah.
learning on the 5 minute, too many indicators, page shield indicators, following the wrong people following anybody really. That's not if you follow somebody on YouTube and you can't get in a channel and talk with them, I think it's an issue.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Verify that they trade, right? Like, yeah, I mean, we sit in Discord every day, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours sometimes, sharing our screen and trading, right? I think a lot of what you see the vast majority of what you see thrown at you from day to day from a content perspective are not traders. They're just
It's just
regurgitating
influencers.
BS, right? Do you think strategy hopping is just FOMO in disguise?
Strategy hopping, FOMO in disguise. I think it's flailing. I think it's I tried this, I don't think it's working, let me try this. Like I'm doing it a little bit because I want to catch some bigger moves. So I've been this week and well, it's only Tuesday. So I guess since like last Wednesday into this week, I've been kind of averaging in the plays until I get a full position. That way, if the key level doesn't hold, I'm not up the creek just in one play. So I don't know if I consider that FOMO. I just think it's tinkering with what's working and trying to make it work a little better. But if you don't have like a winning record and you're just jumping from one strategy to the next, I think that is an issue that needs to be solved. Um, Especially if you haven't actually tried your strategy into any length of time. 'Cause things need
So,
to play out.
yeah. So, what would happen if I invented a time machine? I went back 7, 8 years ago and said, Hey, Nick, I want you to take this setup, right? I want you to look for the SFP, right? During the New York session, I want you to confirm volume by doing this. I want you to confirm momentum by doing this. And I want you to make sure you're trading the right time of day, which is that New York to London overlap. And I said, I need you to trade this same setup for the 6 months. I need you to confirm volume this way, to check off a box, to check off momentum this way, and to make sure you're trading the right time of day and you're looking for that price action. If I told you that and I said, I need you to do that for 6 months, right? What do you think the result would be?
I think the result would be if you traded 100 times a month and you were winning 30%, you would be at 50 to 70%. And you only traded those and cut out half the trades you take.
So what would happen if someone just traded the same setup for 6 months and as
You
opposed to
probably
just
would be a profitable trader. I mean,
probably be a profitable trader?
the thing we say all the time is most people are 2 to 3 trades away from being profitable traders. It's the patience that gets in the way consistently. I mean, I still have issues with patience. Like, I should have took the second break of structure this morning and just hopped in the short, and I didn't do it because I didn't get the top. Like, I'd still be in profit right now in the short.
So
That's all. I have too much patience.
yeah.
So now I'm waiting for like a back test of VWAP on, a time frame that we might not even get. And, I could have taken it immediately instead of just watching it play out. I have patience in the wrong way now.
Yeah. Too much?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was a good example. I took 4 trades yesterday. 3 of them were break even, like covering fees. Didn't lose anything. Made like $50-$60, and then I made 800 on the last one in the evening when the structure broke down again. But if I had a little bit more patience and held my lows, I would have had 2 trades, both profitable and done. Instead, I took 3 break even trades and 1 winner.
Yeah. So everyone's looking at the same market, the same candles, right? But it can be a completely different game depending on your lane. And what I mean by that is higher time frame traders, right? Maybe you're looking at the hour, the 4 hours, the daily, the weekly, whatever. Uh, you're supposed to be more patient. You're playing the longer arcs of the market, up or down. Scalpers are they're in and out before the coffee even cools, right? Like someone today mentioned that I'm a sniper, or not a sniper, but I'm a
Scalper.
scalper, and I don't think that's right.
I don't
I
think so
think
either. I think you're
uh,
just a day trader.
I
I think
think
that's
I'm
the proper
somewhere in
term.
the middle.
And what
I've
defines
got
a scalper? Is there
what
like a
defines a scalper. So I think you're taking micro swings. I think you're taking multiple trades a day.
I
You
think the
could be
multiple
in and
trades a
out.
day for sure.
You could be in and out, and when I say multiple, it could be 10 to 30 trades a day.
Yeah, I'm not
You're
doing
you
that. I'm not even
you're
interested in that.
you're in and out. Like it could be a 1 minute candle or a couple 1 minute candles.
Mhm.
When I hear scalpers, like that's what a scalper is, right? Like I've got my 15 minute, I've got my 1 hour levels. I drop down to the 5 minute for the kill shot. I think where people get destroyed is when they try to play all three lanes at once, right? They start the day as a higher time frame trader. That's who they say they are, right?
Mhm.
I am trading the higher time frames. Then they get bored and they scalp in the middle, and then they try to swing something overnight. That's not trading, that's chaos. You can respect the other lanes. You can even learn from them, right? If trading is fractal, you can learn from them.
Mhm.
But if you
Mhm.
can't stay in your own lane, you're gonna wreck your account. So if you new traders, right? Maybe like most new traders have a 9 to 5, and if you had to speak to them and say trade in a style that would fit you for 30 days straight, which lane would you tell them and why?
I would stick to macro and just hold plays.
Like hour, 4 hour?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, if you're brand new, I'd probably zoom out even further. I would be 4 hour, 1 hour daily. I think you take
Probably not
confirmations
even
on the
look at
hour.
like the 5. Probably not even look at the 15, right? Like,
No, why? There's
yeah.
no reason. And everybody does this, and you can know better, right? And I tend to do this too. And like, look, we're not perfect traders. We're still learning and advancing ourselves. If if I do my levels in the morning, share them all with the community, and then 3 hours of the session starts to move forward, like into lunch, and I'm still sitting on the 5 minute chart, I'm like, all of a sudden I'm getting confused again because I've just been sitting here watching the 5 minute. I got to go back out, look at the 15, see what actually happened. Did I miss something? Go back out to the hour. Did I miss something? Things like that. So I think it's imperative to always zoom out. And now on the you can't see it, but the monitor above me here, I have the hour chart sitting there. It always is on the hour chart. It's never on anything else. So I always have that overview of the higher time frame.
Yeah, you can't. I know, like, I share a screen during New York session, but I have multiple screens up, right? I got hour, 15, 5, TRDR on one, trading view on the other. I did find some statistics here for you, though. Um, so scalpers who aim for small, quick profits tend to execute a high volume of trades, often averaging between 10 and 30 trades per day. Some aggressive scalpers may even execute hundreds of trades daily. These are going to be more for like high frequency trading algorithms.
Mhm.
In contrast, higher time frame traders who focus on long-term trends and movements typically execute far fewer trades, often averaging 1 to 3 trades. So, what do you think makes someone suited for a specific lane? Like, if someone's trying to figure out who they should be right now as a trader, what makes someone suited for a scalper or what I do or what you do or a higher time frame trader?
I mean, you got the time to do it. You got to be screen time to be a scalper. You got to be in the front of the computer constantly. Like, I think the two big distinctive differences are if you want to be a swing trader, you can take an entry, you have a larger drawdown, you have a defined stop loss, and you can just walk away. If you want to be a scalper, you want to be even like a day trader, you have to sit and manage plays manually. I think is the
Yep,
biggest difference. So
I would
macro
agree.
swings, sit and let them ride. Like I took a macro swing play in ETH. I've been in an ETH long since $2,300, and I haven't even looked at it.
So, have you ever, well, you're kind of in the process of switching lanes, right? You want to say why?
I'm full time, baby.
Full-time trader now. Um, yeah. So I mean, I guess you're a good case study for that. I think you can switch lanes. I think you need to stay in the lane that best fits your routine, your life, your responsibilities, right? Family, 9 to 5,
Yeah, I mean, let me tell
kids.
you the difference. When I worked a full time job, I had wristwatch that only it was a Garmin. I have an Apple or a different one now, but it only had alarms that went off for TradingView. Nothing else. I mean, that's how serious we took it. Nothing else came through that watch. No text messages, no emails, no work stuff, just TradingView alarms. And when it hit a level, pull up the chart on my computer, in my car, or my phone, and if I mean, I'll just give you the whole system. If I was making divergences in the way I wanted to take the position on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 24 minute, and the 5 minute, I just entered the play and gave myself a 1% stop loss. That easy. Set it, forget it. And odds are, I mean, it worked well. I just didn't get plays every day.
So I think you're right. I mean, I think the most forgiving lane for beginners is obviously higher time frames. It should be just based off of our experience and then what I've seen from other traders, and then all these books behind me, including the playbook, which is talking about interviewing successful traders through all points, from all different kinds of markets. And look, some simplicity wins, right? Pick your lane, get a routine dialed in, start with a naked chart. Like, that's kind of what I want the takeaway to be for people. Now,
I think it's got to be a little bit more in depth to that because looking at a naked chart doesn't do anything for you if you don't know what you're looking at. I think there needs to be study habits. And that's another big thing. People skip just knowing what they're looking at. Like if you can't figure it out, you got to know. You know, we've done these talks you do these talks on Wednesdays. We did liquidity for I don't know, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a row.
I
And
think
there's like
6 for
6 hours of
liquidity, eight
videos on
eight for order flow.
yeah, there's just videos on order flow and liquidity and risk management. Like if you're not absorbing that from someone who actually uses it successfully, you can stare as many charts as you want, just doing it good.
I think that's a good point you bring up, right? Is the what you consume, right? And instead of like YouTube searching trading strategies,
Mhm.
right?
'Cause you just get
Maybe,
random bullshit. Like who knows
yeah,
if they're even using it or they just copied another video or they just made shit up. It's the wild wild west when it comes to education for trading because a lot of people say a lot of things and don't have any proof for shit.
yeah. Yep. You think traders should try everything in the beginning? Should they try all lanes? Should they try all strategies?
No, I think you plug into what works and you just leave it alone.
How do you know what works if you don't try it? How do you
Well,
know what works? I mean, that's the problem, right? The problem is there's so much noise out there. So how do you know what works?
I mean, it's going to be in your journal that it's working for sure. It's going to be in your win rate. It's going to be in your profits or losses if it's not
But
working.
even before that, right? Like even before that, like you're a brand new trader. How do you know what works? Like you almost you have to start consuming something. Is it books?
Yeah,
Is
well,
it
that's the whole evolution of what we've seen it, right? We start out, we take blind positions based on some random fucking tweet, and then you realize, oh, you know what, that doesn't really work. I'm losing my ass over and over and over again, and then you hop on a video on YouTube and you empower yourself a little bit to make the decision yourself, or you like them better and you're trusting what they say, and then you take another blind position and get your ass handed to you. I mean, how many people have bought altcoins, meme coins, and it just ends in everybody getting wrecked? Practically everybody, right? So when do you take the power and the decision making out of the person who's speaking to you and telling you what to do and put it in your own hands? Make the decision yourself.
Yeah, I think that boils back to the type of content you're consuming, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Like it's the stuff you wouldn't think about to search for. Like less of here's an EMA crossover strategy that has a 90% plus win rate, and more of, well, what is liquidity? How are these institutions trading? What is order flow? Right? What is depth of market? It's learning how the market works, I think, is more important than learning an EMA crossover strategy. Is more important than learning,
For
some.
sure. But I think people are stuck before that. I think they're stuck in the what's the best way to say it? Open mouth thumbnail. To the moon, buy this now. It's
Yeah.
up 140% stuff. That's the first phase people have to get out of their head. Is that content. And it's tough because it just creates FOMO for you and everybody thinks they're just going to have an easy win. I don't think it's any of it is based on easy wins. I think if you want to be a full-time trader, you are never ever shooting for the moon.
No, we
Nope.
kind of talked about that today.
Yeah, that was my tweet today on X.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody wants small wins, man. Everyone's trying to change their life with every single trade.
So as your account grows, so does your buying power. With every step forward, you earn strength to command bigger moves in the market. And we talk about this little part a lot. And it doesn't necessarily mean you say you capture a half percent to 1% to 5%. It means you capture more profit as you go. But don't get lost in chasing that one massive win. It's a trap that too many fall into. Instead, fall in love with the grind, build those small victories, stack them each day, and then watch them snowball into something unstoppable. And before you know it, those little wins have rivaled the jackpots that you once dreamed about. And what that means to me is, and it doesn't matter your account size, right? Say you're playing with $1,000 account, $20 is 2% on account. Right? Take the
Mhm.
$20 and then take the $20 and then take the $20 and then take the $20. And what happens instead of, gathering that stuff up to $100 in profit and 10% on account, um, they say $20 isn't enough. I got stomped out at a $20 loss instead. I can accept a $20 loss. And then they get stomped out at another $20 loss. And then they get stomped out at another $20 loss. And now they've lost 3 or 4 trades in a row and they're down that 80 to $100 instead of up $100. So when you scale, instead of losing, instead of winning that $20 and losing that $20, all of a sudden you're earning $40 and then you're earning $100 and then you're earning $500 and then you're earning $1,000 in that same percentage move. And that's really what it means to me is it's the consistent scalp. Maybe it's scalping. It's the consistent scalp of the market from just support to resistance. There's another hand down there. There we go.
So why do people fight that? Why do people not
It's
want to
not
hear that?
enough. It's not enough. And for me, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to earn $20 until I figured out just how to compound. I don't think people understand the compound effect of the markets. What's the S&P? Um, what does the S&P bring yearly?
10%. So,
Yeah.
8 to
So
10%.
you win 2% a day, 5 days a week. You've already beat the S&P.
Yep. And food for thought, but the majority of hedge funds do not even beat the S&P 500. They do not beat 10% a year, which is crazy. So what do you know, right? I think that's a fair question to ask. What do you know that billion-dollar hedge funds with quants and algorithms and a crap load of money and who have been doing this, some of these hedge funds are 100 years old. What do you know? Is your ego that big? Is your ego that inflated that you think you know better than they do? That you think you know better than these markets do?
Yeah, I think people got to stop treating it like a cheat code, man. It's not a cheat code. It's a grind. It's work. I'm okay with it being a hobby for folks, right? If that's your goal is to just putz around in the market and have fun with it, and you can afford to lose the money, and it's not really hurting you at all, by all means, do that. But if you want to have an edge in trading, dude, you need to just dial in profit taking constantly, 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 constantly. And it doesn't matter. And I'm saying this as I kind of go against my grain this last week on this, but I don't typically, once I'm in profit, let myself run negative at all, especially on high leverage. And that's how I got stomped out yesterday on that first move. And then I tried to capture it 2 more times. And I got stomped out of both of those. I was in profit, $200, and then it came down and stopped me out for like $80 in covered fees. Right. it's a little different for everybody, but you got to dial it in constantly.
You think it's personality or experience driven? You think?
I think it's emotionally driven. Everything's always emotionally driven.
Yeah.
And I think that just comes with experience. You know, it's like it's the dopamine fix, man. I think it's dopamine constantly. Like, have you ever owned a motorcycle?
To kill myself.
Yeah. Well, at least you know that, right? At the end of the day, new riders go down because they're nervous, right? They don't know how to control the fixation of the extra shake they have because they're nervous of doing what they're doing. And as soon as that falls off, you flourish, right? And that kind of comes back to, the thing I always say in chat is entry, stop loss, take profit, hands off. Like when it becomes less emotional of detachment, that allows you to know if your strategy works or not. I think a lot of people have a good strategy and they don't let it evolve. I think they give it two times and they're out. They switch it up.
Do you think you could take someone off the street right now, and if you said to them, look, you're going to do everything I tell you to do for the next 6 months, and do you think you could have them profitable in 6 months if they actually listen to everything you said and followed your words to a T? Me too. I 100% believe that. I'm getting goosebumps right now saying that. Like I really believe that if someone gave me 6 months of their life and really listened and followed everything I said, they would be a profitable trader in 6 months. No question. I don't have a single doubt.
Yeah. So what's the reason they're not? And I think it's
because they think they know better. They think they're the exception to the rule. Their ego won't let them listen. People want mentorship, but they don't want to listen because they still think they know better. They can beat the market. It's the same thing with gamblers, right? They think they can beat the house. They can beat the odds. They're different. They're special. That's what they think. That's why they don't listen to advice from the books behind me. The blueprint's there, bro.
Well,
The
yeah, and
blueprint
I
is
think the
there.
other thing is they've been trained wrong and they can't get the old stuff out of their head. So, like, when I used to do sales trading, I loved somebody who didn't come from the sales world because they went through some other sales trainer that told them this was the best method in the entire world, and I can't beat it out of them, like quite literally ever. And they always have this doubt in the back of their mind that I'm doing it wrong or I'm showing them wrong, and they know better. Maybe it just comes back to they know better, but they have some kind of data in reliance on something they've already done that teaches them that. They heard it on a random video that this is how you do this, or this is from another Discord community, or this is from an indicator that a friend showed them, or like I just think they need to beat out the stuff that doesn't work, and if you can't give it up, you're never gonna flourish.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's a real question, right? Because true or false, the blueprint to being a successful trader is out there.
No, I think it's out there to watch, but if you don't walk the blueprint,
That's what I mean, though. Like
yeah,
the blueprint is out there to watch, right? Like,
yeah,
you can teach someone to be a successful trader, but I think trading.
people do it all the time. I mean, companies hire people, they train them to be traders, and they flourish.
And I think like even trading, maybe not as much crypto, but I think it attracts smart people, right? Like it attracts independent thinkers, right? I think that independence can often mutate into ego, right? If a mentor says something like, don't take that trade, but then it works, ego locks in, right? It's like yesterday when I was trying to figure out why Bitcoin pumped and everything, it didn't look like it was going to pump, right? And I didn't take the trade, but it still pumped. Someone with a big ego or an untrained eye might look at it and say, I was wrong. I was wrong. It pumped anyways, right? But I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to miss that move 10 out of 10 times because it did not align with my system. But I'm after those A+ trades only. I'm after when everything lines up, my price, my time, my volume, my momentum. I think it could also be
Are you
people
still short right now?
No. Mm-mm. Nope.
Close it.
Um, maybe it's also partially like I see this too, and I think this can manifest in a couple different ways. But people want to own their success, which I get. If they follow advice or if they listen to someone else, it can feel like that person gets the credit. But if they fight the advice and win, then they feel like a genius.
I can see that.
That
I
that
never
that
really felt that way.
I've never felt that way either, but I could see why some people. It's kind of like this too. So I see people who are trying to come up with some crazy trading systems, right? We've seen it over the years in Discord and on Twitter and on YouTube videos, or come up with some kind of some indicator that no one else is using, but it's the one that's going to change it for them. I think it's that same kind of thing where they want to figure it out their own way. They don't want to take the path that all the traders have taken throughout history. They know something. I think, dude, it's the same reason kids push back against their parents. Like, proving independence feels more valuable than the actual result. Maybe it's that. But shortcut addiction, I mean, it's
It's a lot
probably,
of things, man. And I think some of it's even more simple than that. I think it's the market. They won't let the market prove them wrong.
well, I think when someone says keep it simple and stick to the basics, it sounds and feels boring. It does,
Mhm.
right? It's shiny object syndrome whispering to you, what if you're missing the real secret?
There's no secret, guys. It's
Nope,
just hard work.
no. And also, how
There's no
about
shortcut.
pain avoidance, right? Like, what is the advice that we give a lot of times, right? It's discipline, journaling, stop losses, passing on trades when they don't look good, even if you miss it because it didn't hit your triggers, right? What does that mean for a trader? Fewer dopamine hits and facing uncomfortable truths about yourself and maybe your system. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think the biggest one is just misinterpreting, not misinterpreting, but we talk in months and years. New traders think in hours and days.
I think that's a tough pill to swallow for people because they think it should be instant, and they're the exception to that. They're the exception to, hey, look, man, I'm just gonna pick this up and run with it. I'll be great.
Yep. That can also
I
go.
wasn't an exception to it.
Yeah, yeah.
It
And
took
I
me
think
time, man, years.
I think that can go a different way too. So a mentor's advice might not work today or tomorrow, and then on the third day you give up, and then guess what? it works for the next forever, and then they throw it out. They throw it out prematurely, and that's how strategy hopping works too, right? Like you try something, you watch an EMA crossover video on YouTube, dude swears by it, says he makes $9,000 before he goes to work every single morning. You
Before
try
he
it
leaves
out.
for work.
you try it. You've seen those videos, right? Here's how I make $500 before work every day. It's like, okay, sure, buddy.
Yeah.
And maybe
Why are
it
you going to
works.
work?
Well, I think every trader thinks they're the exception, right? They think the stop loss rule doesn't apply to them. That journaling thing, they don't need to do it, dude. They don't need to know. They know better. That patience stuff, nah, I'll just scalp it, dude. And when they blow themselves up the same way every single person before them has, that's what happens. There's no shortcut. The shortcut's the longest road. And
I
it's
mean, I
not
had it
just
this weekend.
trading.
Like, I went up and visited family, saw some folks, and, asking what you're doing, telling what you're doing, and then they're asking for tips. It's like, I love you guys dearly, but I can't give you any tips.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing. I always turn it back on them. Like, I ask them what they do for a living and say, how can I make some quick money today doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
And
and I think, look, I think advice, you got to look at it like this. Like it isn't about being right on every single call. It's not. I don't give a shit about being right, dude. Like I
dude, I've
don't
been like,
care.
last week I was wrong 4 times in a row before I got one right.
Yeah, I don't care about being right.
Or the
I
week
don't
before,
get,
maybe.
yeah, I'm not making money off of being right. I'm making money off of executing consistently with discipline the same way every single day. It's about compressing 10 years of scars that we've built up, right,
Mhm.
into one sentence.
Yeah, that's
Like
a good way
that's
to
what
put
it
it.
is. When I think when people ignore that, they're basically saying, I'd rather pay the tuition myself. And trust me, the market's tuition costs way more than a mentor ever will.
Yeah,
100%.
and I think, dude, I don't even know. I don't know if you even have any besides the books that I have that are probably very similar to the ones sitting right behind you there. I didn't in each other. Maybe that was where our edge was early. Because we hit the systems together and we did it as a team and we won and lost learning from each other. But I didn't really have like an individual who was a mentor that I sat and chat with.
I wish I did.
Yeah. And that was
I
why we did what we're doing. This is why we did DeFi Rebels Tactical Edge Trading because, you know, I think it should be easier for everybody to have access to this kind of stuff. And if you're willing to put 7 years into it, 3 years into it, 2 years into it,
however
anybody
long
can
it
do it.
takes.
Yeah.
It's going to take as long as it takes. Period. So I think let's talk a little bit about the mission. So I think every day, no matter what your system, no matter what your lane is, your routine, we all have the same mission, right? Protect capital, catch the highest probability trades, execute with discipline consistently, live to fight tomorrow. That's it. It's not trade every single wiggle. Like that's not in there.
Dude,
right? Every single wiggle.
People have to learn that, dude. It's tough to ignore the wiggle.
Yeah.
That should be a
not,
saying. Ignore the
not
wiggle.
to be right every call. Like that's not what we're here to do. The market rewards survival and discipline. Everything else is noise. As new traders, your only job is to survive however long it takes for you to be and learn to be a successful trader, to learn all the little nuances, to build your edge, to learn price action and market structure and volume and
Ignore the wiggle, boys.
everything. I mean, that's what it is. And if you had to break trading down, if you had to boil it down to one unbreakable rule, just one unbreakable rule, what is it?
If you miss the trade, stay out of it. There's a ton
great
of them,
one.
dude. There's so many rules.
I mean, Buffett's is rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2,
Never lose money.
forget rule number 1.
Yeah.
I
don't. It's tough, dude. Like, there's so many caveats that you can just make. I could make a list of 1,000 of them that, that I'm good at doing or not good at doing at the end of the day. But, if I had to make just a small list, it's win small, lose small, win big is kind of the theme of it all.
Yeah. And it really does boil down to we're not traders, we're risk managers.
Yeah.
Right? We're
It's
risk
gotta come
managers
down to
first,
capital.
traders second. Here's some crazy statistics, right?
And we're not always before you get into the statistics, we're not always great at that. Right? We're not infallible. We're not these gods among men. We just don't make enough mistakes to be bad at it anymore.
Right. Yeah.
It's about making less mistakes every day. And it's not about doing the right execution. It's about making the less mistake.
I don't know that you can, like, if we talk about one unbreakable rule, what is it? I don't know that you can top Buffett's, like, never lose money, right? Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1.
Well, I mean, if you don't have anything to trade, that's a different story. So yeah, don't lose all your money.
Yeah. I mean, so here, avoiding one bad trade per week improves annual return by 20%. These are stats from brokerages.
Oh,
Traders
really?
with hard daily stop loss survive twice as long as those that don't.
Yeah, man, 2% and I'm done.
Most pros just risk 1% per trade. Drawdown recovery requires 2 times the loss. Over trading increases commissions by 30 to 50%. So we're talking just fees, right? 80% of pros have a written daily plan, successful traders. Then look, risk control is the number 1 cited factor for career longevity from professional traders. So what is your daily mission? Like when you think about, like if I say, hey, Nick, what's your daily mission? What's your daily goal? Not necessarily like, oh, I want to make 2% a day, but just what's your daily mission? Like what do you set out to do every single day?
I set out every single day to capture the move of the day and be done. And do whatever else I want that day. But I mean, you said it. My daily goal is 2%, right? If I'm up more than 2%, a lot of times I will set a stop loss at 2% and just walk away. And if we get a little more, we get a little more. If I give it a little bit back, I give it a little bit back.
I would say mine's the same. I mean, if someone asked me like what's my goal? I mean, I show up to the markets every day, trying to get in and out between open and lunch and be done with my day. Sometimes, like today, I've been done for a while, right? It's now noon where I'm at, and I've been done for hours. I've made a video, right? And now doing a podcast. I was done early today. So my mission is to mark out levels on a chart where I think we're going to get a price reaction. Sweeps, bounces, right? More often than not, I'm hunting the sweeps, looking for those trap traders, the turnaround, and I'm smashing short or long off of it.
Yep.
Just want to catch
you executed perfectly today, by the way. I was still fucking looking at our new YouTube channel, and
and there I saw some little bit of frustration from some of the newer traders who missed the move. And you know, my only advice is don't let the missed move not be a lesson.
Don't let it frustrate you either. Here's the other thing. This is like kind of an issue I had for a long time too. I missed the move. I'm never gonna get another one. Dude, tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow will be
an hour later. You know what I mean?
There's always another move. If you miss today and you miss tomorrow and you miss the next day, guess what the following day has? Another move.
So why do traders break daily rules?
Especially in the leverage world.
Why do traders, they have the rules, they know what their daily mission is, and they break the rules?
They look, at the end of the day, dude, it all comes down to discipline. And we talk about it a lot. Every single podcast, we talk about the whole thing is what's the issue with traders? Why aren't you profitable? If you know your systems, you know how to mark out the levels, you know when you should take a trade, and you probably know when you should exit the trade. What are you missing? What is not there for you? Discipline.
Yeah. So I agree. And maybe not necessarily for traders who have been doing this a lot, but I think it also can boil down to, like, if someone's been doing this for 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, and they're missing trades that they were looking for, I think what it boils down to is they don't trust themselves. They don't trust the work that they've already put in. I think that's really what it boils down to.
That's a bit of a different angle, right?
Yeah.
So
like, you put in the work, dude. You had the same levels marked out I did this morning. Not you.
Yeah. Well, no,
you weren't paying attention. I'm just saying.
But here's the thing. I missed it because it went too fast. And I knew that, hey, look, if it's going to go fast, I'm not going to guess now, because it reacted and went down 0.4% immediately.
And I think that was a good move.
Outside of my
I wasn't talking
purview
about
of a risk. Oh, no, but this will apply to everybody, right? I just missed it, and I stayed out of it. And then I've actually been averaging into a long here because I think we're at a key level on the hour chart. And I haven't given up this because I trust my TA on another level here on a higher time frame. But at the end of the day, I didn't execute, not because I didn't know it was there. It just went fast. And that's okay. They all don't go that quick, right? And that kind of stuff will catch me even if I'm looking and watching. Just fast. I'm not used to...
I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit.
Well, I'm just not used to the speed of New York.
I think that's just what it is. I think in the New York sesh, I think a lot of times the liquidity grabs do happen fast. Like, that's what I'm looking for, is that fast reaction. I want to see the orders change hands. I want to see retail bid it up above resistance, everyone go long, and I want to see a whale just come in and take it out, smack them right on the face. And that's what we saw today. And a lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times it happens real quick. But my point is, if you missed that trade or any trade in the future, and it was off of someplace you were watching, man, you got to internalize that. You really gotta journal it, man. Like, you gotta journal missed trades as much as trades that you lose and as trades as you win.
I agree, dude.
I think people there's a misconception that, like,
what do you journal?
In school, I hated homework. I did. I hated homework. I think that's normal. Like, who likes to do freaking homework? Nerds. Get out of here, nerd. Go touch grass, you know? They're not homework. They're intelligence briefings. It's like a presidential intelligence briefing that you get.
We say that
every single day. This is where you find patterns in your wins and losses. and patterns in your missed trades.
Yep.
You should be marking that.
I already wrote it down in mine.
And without it, you're just guessing. You're not collecting data. Like if
What
you
do
can't
you
do the boring work,
Yeah. But I
y-
think people miss how to even journal properly, right? So, what are you writing down? Price hit level, reacted like this, what followed? You need to do the whole process. It's not, "Oh, I missed my level, I'll get them next time." It's like,
right?
how did price react? What level was hit? How did the candle close? Like, all those things matter when you journal. It's another one of those things where, if you don't do it properly, you're not gonna get anything out of it.
Correct. And if you don't do anything with what you've written down, you're not going to get anything out of it. If you're just writing down for the sake of writing down, write write like an analyst would write, right? Write down. So at the end of each day, I always have a takeaway. And my takeaway goes in like bullet points at the top of my journal. So if I would have missed the trade today, I would have notated it. I would say it did everything I wanted it to do. It swept the level.
Mhm.
Maybe it happened too fast and I missed it. I just wasn't, it happened too quick. So I would maybe make a mental note and I would say something like, boy, when we're approaching a key level, I need to just mute Discord and be glued to the screen or something like that. But I would also notate everything that happened, right? So as we were running up into and breaking out, there was divergences on volume, on CVD, and momentum. Time of day was right. We're in a downtrend. I would notate all that, and I would kind of summarize it at the top. That way, I can kind of just flip through quickly and see what I'm missing. I actually have a separate journal for like a playbook and missed trades, and I'm trying to do something with ChatGPT to streamline that process for not necessarily missed trades, but just like quirky things that happen to kind of keep track of. Kind of like I did early on with, hey, if we enter into a session and we're extended far from VWAP, we almost always go back to VWAP before the real move of the day happens, whether that's below or above. That's kind of how I figured that out, just by observation and notating that this happens more often than not. Because that's what we're after. We're after probabilities and stacking probabilities. Once I noticed, like, hey, there's a pattern here, right? If we open up into London and New York above or below VWAP, a decent amount away, maybe first or second deviation away, we almost always slam into VWAP and then the real move happens. Almost always.
Almost always.
Almost always. Nothing's ever 100%, right? But we can up those probabilities. I mean, my 4-point confirmation checklist is just so simple, dude. Like, I've got it dialed in now. Just what's price, volume, momentum, time. That's it. Like, I keep super, super simple.
Yeah, I think, that's really the first 3 things. I mean, besides the time of day, I think, volume and momentum are the 2 things that people need to understand, and then they plug it into the time of day they want to trade.
Yeah. So how do you handle I mean, you kind of just explained it a little bit, but when you miss the move of the day, how do you handle that? I mean, I missed the move
For
of the
me,
day. I missed
I
it
just don't
yesterday.
chase it. Like, the discipline now is for me, and now I'm looking back at the charts a little bit after seeing these plays, feel like I should have went in there. I got a rule where I let it breathe for 10 minutes, and then I'll reevaluate. Like, here's where I get in trouble. Or here was where I used to get in trouble. I would miss the move, and then I would chase the move, and then it would go against me anyway. So today's case, I missed the move, it broke it down again, and then continued in the same direction. But that's not always the case. I mean, how many times do we get like a New York VWAP reversion play? It dumps below second deviation, and then it runs up through VWAP and into the second deviation above it, and then mercs you the other way. So there's nothing worse than FOMOing in and chasing it, and then losing the trade anyway.
Yeah, I think that's how I mean, before I would just try to hop in late, right? Like today, for example, like we went up, came back down. It did happen pretty fast. I would have chased it. The old me, the newbie me would have chased it and I would have gotten smoked.
Mhm.
Maybe every once in a while I'd get lucky, and that's where it gets dangerous, is when the market rewards you for
Not
bad
passing it.
behavior, bad
Yeah.
habits. You know what I mean? Because occasionally you will get rewarded for bad habits.
Mhm.
More often than not, your account goes to zero. But now, if I miss a move, I'm in the habit of just getting up and going and doing something else for a little bit and then coming back I kind of want to let that FOMO clear out a little bit because I still get
Yeah, so I said
FOMO.
10 minutes. I just give it 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Give it 10 1-minute candles and see what happens.
Go play in my fish tank or sit in my
I just chat. I just pull up and
chair,
change the
my cuck
Spotify
chair.
playlist or something like that. Your cuck chair. Jesus Christ. That was an
Um,
uncomfortable meeting.
do you trade better after a win or loss? Do you know?
I trade worse after a loss.
Yeah, me too. It's like typically I've just lately, you know what I've been doing, dude? I've been just taking because I know from one of the most surprising things. Here's one of the most surprising things I learned from my journal is the first trade of the day for me is almost always a win. Not always, but almost always a win for me. And it might not always be a huge win. Sometimes it might be a break even. But my first trade of the day has a way better hit rate than any other trade that I take. Second trade, third trade. I don't usually go to 4 or 5 trades. If I do, it's usually a losing day. So what I've been typically doing, dude, is just shutting down, doing something else. Like if I get that first win of the day,
There's nothing worse than getting that first win of the day and then giving it back.
Yeah. And I think
It's
there's a
fucking
good reason
terrible.
for that. It's like it's you're the most dialed in. You don't have any. The longer this is just for me. The
I
longer
mean, the
I
key
sit
is
at
the freshest. It's here's my key levels. We hit the key level, we play it, and then key levels move. The market moves, and that's kind of what I was saying. If I'm watching the 5-minute chart into like a 3-hour time frame, like long, the levels have all shifted around at this point.
And usually, not always, but the best move or the best entry of the day is often in a very small window between that London and New York overlap. So
Of the morning.
yeah. So that's the higher probability trade. So as the day progresses and goes on, and its price starts running away from that level, it becomes less and less high probability. Doesn't mean there's not an afternoon reversion trade or some kind of fade. I'm not saying that. Just how I trade in my hour of windows that I'm active, it becomes less probable. My stop loss has to be wider. All of a sudden, my risk to reward ratio goes down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Should traders set daily goals? Do they have
They
like
should. If I can pay my mortgage in one trade, I close it. That's my goal.
why is
And that
survival
happens
so
quite a bit,
underrated?
which is kind of crazy. What's that?
Why is survival so underrated?
I just think it's
Like everyone wants to thrive. Everyone's trying to have that big leap. You know what I mean? No one wants to just be risk manager. Everyone wants to just be Babe Ruth, call the shot, slide that slider up to 100%, throw on 50x leverage, and go full send every single trade.
I don't even think it's that deep.
Why is survival underrated?
Because they can't get over their own confirmation bias. But I don't even think it needs to be that aggressive. Like a lot of people get the positioning sizes right, they get the risk management stuff right. They just take the wrong entries, and I think a lot of that has to go with chasing late plays, and that's where we've been talking about it quite a bit. You know, you go over and sit in the chair and sit on your hands for a bit. I let the chart play out 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes instead of chasing stuff.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, like what's the cost of overtrading? I think it's like poker. Like I've gotten into playing poker lately, and
Yeah, I know. I get the text message. You get fucking eliminated. All your money's gone
hey,
off
I've
the table.
won too. I fold more than I play, and that's normal. I think most, probably all. I mean, there's got to be some statistics on this. I don't know them off the top of my head. I probably should know this starting to play poker more and more. But you fold more than you play, and it's the same way in trading. Like you, and I know I've said this a bunch, but like you know how many moves I miss or don't take? Most of them.
Yeah.
Most of them, just like in poker. You don't swing at bad pitches, right? It's the same thing.
Here we go.
So
in Texas Hold'em, only about 15 to 20% of starting hands are considered strong or profitable enough to play consistently.
yeah, I mean
which means 80% of the time is normal to fold.
Yeah, and it's the same thing in trading, and that doesn't mean this. If you have a level plan, right, and it comes to your level, and if half of your entry triggers, and I typically have 4, and I can check them off just like that. If I have half of them, I'm not taking the trade. I'm just not. I'm not taking the trade.
What was your? I don't mean to interrupt you there, but you were saying something. Let me see. I think of what it was. I don't need any green lights. I just need no red lights.
Yeah, Yeah, and that just goes back to inverse thinking, right? Like everyone's looking for the thumbs up. Everyone's looking for the signal, right? Everyone's looking for the indicator to print a buy here signal, right? I'm not. I'm just looking for no red flags. It could, someone listening is like, well, it's the same thing. It's not. It's just rewiring my brain to think a little bit differently.
It's not the same thing when you break it down.
We'll break it down.
It's like if you're watching for a bottom in price action and volume is making lower lows the whole way down, and that's not a green flag or a red flag. What you're looking for is this is going to get confusing for people who are a little bit new to this. So you're not looking for green flags, right? If volume is tapering down and you just see the graph kind of going like this, so volume's actually falling off. I'm not waiting necessarily for a green volume candle. I'm waiting for the red volume to hit a pinnacle down. It looks like it could hit a pop, right, into a key level. So I don't need volume to hit a green volume bar for me to take a play being a green flag. I just needed to stop making lower lows of red ones.
Yeah, so I would look at it like, here's how we can explain this very simply for people. If you chart the indicator like you chart price, right? You're looking for them to do the same thing. So if price makes a lower low, the indicator makes a lower low. Yep. I'm looking for the deviation of that, right? Yep. I'm looking for the cool down, the pause, or the trap to spring, right? Meaning you lose a level, you trap traders, you bounce back. I'm just looking for no red flags in my trades. So what does that look like? Like just like I mentioned, if I'm looking to go long, my volume indicator, OBV, CVD, whatever. I mean, that's not whatever you use, but that's what I use. Needs to be doing what price is doing. If we break a key level with price, the CVD better break that same damn key level, or at least put in a higher high. At minimum, put in a higher. If it doesn't, that's a red flag. That's no trade for me, even if it was the right trade. Even if price does exactly what I thought it would, I'm not taking that trade. That's trading. That's discipline. That's a win.
I agree.
Woo! I don't know. I think another thing, like what gets measured gets managed, right? So
what do you mean by that?
When we talk about trading journals, if you're not measuring your success, your failure, your misses, you're not managing them. You're not getting better. Know thyself. Socrates.
Dude, I think the journal stuff is so underrated.
It is, dude. I can't.
And people don't even use it correctly and leave it underrated.
Right.
So like when I'm developing my edge, or I'm trying to improve my edge, or I'm trying to improve my win rate, dude, I have little, like in my digital one, I have little tags for every type of play I take, and when I can narrow down, 3, 4, 5 different tags in a row that all accumulated into a profitable play, it's powerful, dude. Like I've even added like I've always recorded what time of day I take the trade, but now I've added a tag that tells me if I took it at 9:30 open or at 10:30, and I keep creating these new tags too to see if there's any correlation with it for win rate. And when I can search and parse my data based on my win rate, based on my tags, I can see if you have 4 confluences, but if you record more and more of this data, say there were 17 confluences in this trade, and every time there's all 17 confluences in the trade, it works out perfectly. It's 100% win rate.
Yeah. So there was a point where I had more confluences than 4, but I think it goes back, for me, it's just drilling in, right? Like,
well, I mean, a lot of those are just things you see on the fly. They're not necessarily something you would work into that. But like today, 9:31 minute chart was the dump. So recorded in the journal, look, took liquidity to the upside, it dumped, broke liquidity to the downside, and then kept rolling downhill. How many times will we see that at 9:30 a.m. every day? A dump or a pump on the first minute candle.
But journaling, dude, takes time, and it's work, and I just don't have the time to do it.
Well, maybe you shouldn't trade.
Maybe you shouldn't trade. Hang it up. You want me to save you some time? Hang it up. Traders who journal daily improve win rate by 23%. Journaling increases trade selectivity by 18%. Reviewing journals weekly improves consistency by 30%. Most traders stop journaling after 3 months because they think they know better. Journaling reduces emotional trades by 25%. Traders who journal position size have 30% fewer blowups. Journaling leads to 15% faster recovery from drawdowns. This is kind of an interesting one. Digital journals are used 2 times more than paper. 40% of traders admit they avoid journaling losing trades. Why? Because you can't be honest with yourself. Because
Yeah,
it's
I agree with
not
that 100%.
comfortable. Because you cannot look yourself in the mirror and say, you're fucking up. It's hard. It's hard. And I know from personal
I moved
experience.
some paper journaling stuff during the day, and I think it was because of the losing trades. It's like, man, I don't want to fucking enter this trade. So I'm just gonna write it down.
Yeah. Journals with screenshots improve recall by 35%. So if trading is about stacking probabilities, let's be honest, anything in life is about stacking probabilities. Being a lawyer and stacking the right jurors is about probabilities, right?
Yeah, juror selection, gerrymandering.
So no matter the profession, if Anthony Edwards knows when he takes a 3-point shot from this side of the arc, it hits 10% more than anywhere else on the court, where's he more likely to take that 3-pointer shot from?
Same exact.
The same exact spot.
Yeah, that's crazy,
right?
dude.
It's the same. I mean, it literally, statistically makes you a better trader. But why? Why not do it? And it's made me realize so much shit, dude. Like my best trades come in the first 90 minutes. My best trades come in the first 90 minutes of market open. Most of my losses come during
9 or 8:30 to 10:30.
Most of my losses would come, this was early on, but during lunch or after lunch. And it depends on market context and blah, blah, blah. But it also helped me identify over trading in choppy days, seeing better results on smaller size, like leveraging down, and then just finding success in one ticker type. I think that's, you don't need to trade 10 things. Good traders specialize.
It's not even advantageous to trade 10 things.
No, it's not. It's not. There's no point. I don't understand it. Someone explain it to me. But you need 1, maybe 2 assets, maybe, which, I'm thinking
some people are, look, I know that I'm not good at it. It's just not something I'm going to strive and watch in 80 fucking charts. But the other thing too is like you can, and I don't personally do this anymore because it got hacked and screwed me over. But there's things like 3As, or excuse me, 3 commas, where you can trade the same asset on 10 different accounts. And I don't know why you would even do that unless it was like some kind of prop at this point. But learn how to size up and stay away from the gimmicky stuff, right? So you don't need to change or trade Bitcoin on 3 different accounts connected to some API anymore. You can just scale.
And I don't care how you journal, right? Digital, paper, just start journaling, right? It can morph, it can change. You got to start somewhere. Start now. Start today.
Start
take the number. If you had to track one, if you had to say there was a number one metric to track, can you think of what you would say to that?
Number one metric to track.
Yeah.
Like if you could only track one, be how much do I lose every day?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I would say that. I think I would probably say something like number one metric to track. I guess is the cliche answer, emotions, how you felt, because that would let you kind of lead into like, is FOMO winning for you? Are you revenge trading? Do you just get pissed and you throw your rules out the window? Should you journal emotions? I think so.
For sure. Dude, I journal my sleep.
I'm still trying to work on a ChatGPT system where I can just like paste in a screenshot, and then I'm working on it. But I now have it to where I'm specifically asking it to ask me certain things, right? Like, what was my pre-trade plan? What am I feeling before, during, and after the trade? And it does. I'm getting it dialed in. It's not perfect yet. And then I'm going to have it export it to a Notion template, or yeah, exactly. Thank you. Google Drive.
I tried that for a while. It's just too I don't enjoy AI like you do.
Just working smarter, not harder. That's
I
what I'm after.
I didn't mention in this aspect, I like the hands-on of me writing it all down, me discovering it all, me journaling it all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's different. I mean, you don't like to mow lawns. I like to put my headset in and go cut the grass.
Yep, yep.
It's cathartic
Different
to
strokes,
journal for
man.
me. Yeah, I don't need a shortcut for journaling. I like writing the book.
So I think we hammer home. Let me hammer home some takeaways here that I want people to leave this with. So I think number one, there's 1,000 ways to trade. I think the danger is in chasing all 1,000. You don't need 1,000 ways to trade. You don't need 100 ways to trade. You need one way to trade. That's it. Consistently, repeatable, over and over and over again. If you want my advice, start with SFPs, start with a naked chart, and start learning the stuff like Nick mentioned. Start learning order flow, start learning about liquidity, start learning about market structure, and truly master the basics before you move on. If your house doesn't have a solid foundation, the walls are
Gonna
just going to
fall
fall
over,
down.
man.
Yep. The next takeaway I want people to take is that the market rewards discipline. It does not reward novelty. Shiny object hunting kills more traders than bad setups do. You're not going to come up with some new crazy system that some hedge fund hasn't already tried, right? The
Yeah, and
blueprint's out there.
yeah.
Pick your lane, man. Scalper, high time frame trader, they all work, but only if you commit and master one and make it flow with your lifestyle, right? Me and Nick talked about your daily mission. It's simple: protect capital, catch the clean move, execute with discipline, and live to fight tomorrow. And catch the clean move. If you're a high time frame trader, that might not be the same clean move that I catch.
It probably won't.
Yours might not have hit. We might not have hit your daily or your 4-hour level.
Yeah, the market doesn't move in one direction, man. It ebbs and flows. And when I pick an ebb to a flow, that's it. That's all I need.
Next thing, like noise kills, right? Complexity and overcomplicated stuff, and jargon doesn't make you profitable. Like simplicity and execution do. Journaling is your mirror. Mentor advice, man. Like when I'm giving or you're giving advice, the essence of what it is it's condensed blood and scars. We've been through it. And I think we both went through it the hard way. I still to this day wish I would have found a mentor that I could have vibed with, or at least some kind of community that I could have vibed with. That's part of why we made this, right?
Yeah, and I look for it, like aggressively look for it, and then what you end up seeing is through their bullshit,
Yeah.
and
And look,
most of them are bullshit,
maybe that's not me and Nick. Maybe it's not.
and that's okay.
And that's okay. But find someone, man. Find someone that can give you just real solid advice. And don't be afraid to listen to it. Because often they know. They've been through it. Ego is the silent killer. Thinking you're the exception almost always proves you're not. Usually proves you're not. Trading isn't about one trade, it's about surviving thousands. And then the only real edge is knowing yourself and sticking to your
I think what you said
process.
before is like I don't know if I've ever heard it put that way. If your system can't survive thousands of trades, it's no good.
Nope. And if you can't test the system, like, look, if you're trying to come up with an edge or a system and it doesn't work over 7 trades, you haven't tested it long enough.
Put it through 1,000.
7 trades isn't going to tell you anything. I think that's the punchline, man. There's 1,000 ways to do this, but if you don't pick one,
based on
and
how I
master
trade,
it,
I can lose 7 trades in a row, and then the next 3, I'm Gucci and profit again.
yeah, if you don't pick something and master it and start somewhere, and usually that somewhere's got to be super simple and basic before you can kind of branch out and start adding on a million different things. Yeah, stop chasing every shiny toy. And I think that's the difference between surviving and getting wiped. I think that's Tactical Edge, man. I say we end there. All right, y'all. We'll see you for the next one.